Supposedly this is an anonymous 4chan post. But before I go any further, I just wanted to give a big shout out to Fix the World. He was in the comment section last night. Tony Todd, big thumbs up. Always great to see you in the comments. You got blocked from next door neighbor or something like that. Shit. Damn. We're all being shadow banned. We're all being held down by the technocracy, right? They don't want us to get the word out. Anyway, it's ridiculous. And I saw my boy from down under, Franny, in the comments last night. Always good to see him. I don't know if he was referring to me imitating someone. I don't know. He said it was on point. I want to, as a side note before we get into this, I want to let you know that I've been watching a lot of on YouTube. It's been suggesting it to me because they know what I want to watch. A lot of Rodney Dangerfield clips. Like his best one-liners, jokes. Oh, man. I was laughing my ass off. Those were the days, man. Rodney Dangerfield and all the other comedians from back in the day and actors. I'm watching Married with Children on YouTube. Al Bundy, he's the man. Just a lot of stuff like that. I'm also watching a lot of videos like Here's the Deal. That's and his channel and a couple other channels exposing and showing just how tyrannical the police system is. These police are the popo, the New World Order cops. I mean, it's bad. It's out of control. And I really do want to address that. I just can't do everything. I don't have enough time. I have made a video that I wasn't going to upload to BitChute, but I might as a bonus for you guys, just in BitChute, just to see how you guys take it. It's a video by Greg Doucette. You probably don't know who he is. He's a Canadian bodybuilder and influencer as far as lifting weights and doing the right thing. Take, for instance, how these women are dressing with their literally they're wearing these booty shorts, these spandex that you actually see their butt cheeks, like inside of it. That's how they're stuffing that material up there. It's called glute maxing. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. These narcissists. So I did a video on that. It's uploaded to Facebook and Instagram, put on YouTube right now. But I might share it with you guys. Just let me know if you think you want to see it. And my 2 cents in that. If not, if I don't get any comments on it, I ain't gonna bother. Let's take a look at this. Iran is not an insolvent pariah state. Iran is the primary source of unhedged liquidity for the shadow banking system. London is the hub. Tehran is the offshore battery. IRGC energy credits are not sold. They're swapped for Vostro credits in mid-tier Omani banks. These credits get bundled into collateralized synthetic obligations. This is above my pay grade. They hit the London report desks as high-quality collateral to back short-term loans. Without this 24/7 inflow of dark energy-backed paper, the City of London's leverage ratios collapse. The 2026 Iran war is based on two factions of the global elite fighting one another. Their fight has gone from boardrooms to kinetic events, which can also be seen via other seemingly unconnected accidents in the form of private transport crashes and security lapses for world leaders. Faction A is old money central bankers. They aim to keep the Iran loop open at all costs. They know the Western debt to GDP ratio is terminal. They use a shadow trade to suppress domestic inflation and keep the repo market from seizing. To them, a nuclear deal is just a legal patch to keep the detergent flowing. Faction B is Silicon Valley Neo-Feudalists. They aim for kinetic escalation and regime change. They want to force a global default and great reset to move everyone onto a fully CBDC-tracked ledger. They attack the Iran loop because it is untracked and gives old money a way to survive without their tech. They want to get rid of cash, right? This is also an attack on our energy, and I said that before. This attack on oil. Why? I don't hear any. Not that I want soldiers to die or anything like that, but usually in a war, you have armies, right? And who the last man standing, that nation wins, right? Huh? You know, Civil War when they did how they would fight, and you had the English and you had the Americans and the colonists, and they would have a formation. They'd march towards each other, and bayonet or shoot, and whoever keels over and whoever's still standing, well, that's good for this side. This person lived and this person died, right? And then if that keeps happening and one side has more people, soldiers on it than the other side, one side surrenders, and that's how wars work, right? I mean, am I missing something here? But it seems like they're attacking natural gas fields that contribute to fertilizer and just our way of life. It seems like they want to push us towards electricity, and they want to get rid of oil. They want to get rid of our way of life, and just like they want to get rid of cash, and they want us to go on to digital currency. 100%, that is, you know. I mean, we already are on it with debit cards and credit cards, but they want us to be 100%. Like, just today I used cash at Dollar Tree. I did. It felt weird. It felt weird. But I'll say it felt good, too. All right. Now, it ends here. It says, there is no blockade. It's a monopoly. The sanctions are not walls. They're tolls. They create a compliance tax that ensures only the 5 biggest banks can handle the volume. Seizing the central bank of Iran is about deleting the last of off-grid gold reserves. If the Iran loop breaks, London will take a 30% liquidity haircut within 48 hours, which one may see via a shift in the gold to oil ratio. Escalation will probably involve cutting subsea cables, where we've heard that before. The system is cannibalizing its own infrastructure to stay alive. There's a lot going on in this post from anonymous 4chaner on Twitter, but in the end, it sounds like it's just the old money, you know, goes undetected, the cash, versus the technocracy. That's what it seems like to me, and also it appears it's an attack on energy, an attack on us. Of course, we're funding it. And it's the Great Reset. That's what it looks like. Hello, anybody hear me out there? Wake up. No? Maybe? Great Reset's right around the corner. 2030, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2030. That's what this is. So I want you to take a look at this. Trump gave an ultimatum. He says, I think he said something about, well, he would attack their grid, and Iran says, okay, you attack. I can't even do an Iranian accent. No, it's Russian. Anyway, so the Iranian says, okay, I can do a Chinese accent. Iran and China, like China backs Iran, right? You attack Iran. Iran say they attack your grid. They go after your infrastructure, America. We'll start with bases of you out there, your bases near Iran, and we also attack your NATO. We attack all their bases. We attack their water, their grid, and then we come from you, America. And this gives an excuse. It sounds like for the deep state to just flip a switch and blame it on Iran. Shut down our grid. Shut down our water. Right? Cause mass starvation and death. And then say it's Iran's fault. It's their fault. They did it. But we do have sleeper cells here too, so they could allow these sleeper cells. Hey, sleeper cells, it's time for you to attack our dams. You know, attack our water infrastructure, so we have no crap to tap water coming out of the plebeians' faucets. And oh yeah, don't be sure to knock down the grid too. Okay, we gotta get that footage while supplies last. Something's about to happen. People feel like this. Something's about to happen. Big time. Don't believe me? Just listen.
Iran threatened.
You better be prepared for this. You better stock up on canned goods, anything that can last several years or months. Stock up on meat, but if the grid goes down and they try to blame Iran, have a way of cooking that meat since electricity will be out, propane gas. Maybe do it in some kind of fire pit with safe wood, nothing that'll poison your meat. I don't know, dig a hole and preserve it the way our ancestors did in the ground. Look that up while you can. But get food, get all supplies that you need, because this ain't looking good, man. This is not looking good at all. And I do not support this war at all. At all. I've already went over that. I'm pretty sure you guys out there don't support it either, but there's a lot that do, and they believe that this is a good thing and Iran deserved what they're getting, and I don't even think anything like that's real. I read that 4chan post said there's no blockade. So whatever they're saying there is, well, it doesn't really matter. Perception's reality, and they have an agenda, and they're going to try to accomplish it. Let's listen to this.
To close entire Hormuz Strait, strike utilities.
This
Iran threatens to close entire Hormuz Strait, strike utilities, U.S. companies after Trump ultimatum. Iran will move to shut down the entire Strait of Hormuz if U.S. President Donald Trump follows through with his threats to hit Iranian energy facilities, the nation's Revolutionary Guard said on March 20th.
This is a war on damn energy. I can't help it. That's what it is. I don't know. What is between now and 2030 going to look like? Seriously. People can't afford anything. People pulling out their hair. They're saying, I seen this one clip, this one video. This guy says, I make $30,000 a month, he said. My wife, pointed behind him, right here, she doesn't have to work. He says, but we can't make it on $30,000 a month. $30,000. And he said, even if she did work, we still would be struggling. What is it? And this is done on purpose because you'll own nothing. You'll own nothing. You'll be angry. You'll eat the bugs. The meat will be a treat. You live in the 15-minute stack 'em and pack 'em cities, right? If you're allowed to live.
Second, Trump said that the U.S. military would hit and obliterate various power plants, starting with the biggest one first, if Tehran doesn't fully open the Strait of Hormuz without threat, within 48 hours of his social media post Saturday evening. The announcement came a day after Trump suggested the United States was getting very close to meeting its military objectives in the Middle East regarding Iran and would consider winding down the war after reaching the fourth week. The Strait of Hormuz will be completely closed and will not be opened until our destroyed power plants are rebuilt, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard said in a statement Sunday. The Guards added that any companies with U.S. shares will be completely destroyed if Washington targets Iranian energy facilities. Energy infrastructure of nations that host U.S. military bases will be lawful targets, the statement added. Iran also threatened Sunday to strike the energy and water facilities of its Gulf state neighbors if Trump follows through with his 48-hour ultimatum. Trump, in his statement on Saturday, said the Strait of Hormuz will have to be guarded and policed, as necessary, by other nations who use it. The United States does not. If asked, we will help these countries in their Hormuz efforts, but it shouldn't be necessary once Iran's threat is eradicated. Importantly, it will be an easy military operation for them, Trump said. While only a small portion of U.S. oil imports travel through the Strait of Hormuz, roughly 20% of the world's oil supply and 20% of its liquefied natural gas supply pass through the critical waterway. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said, in a statement posted to social media Sunday, that the Strait of Hormuz remains open to all except those who violate our soil. After Iran moved to effectively close the strait for vessels of any nation that does not seek explicit safe passage from its regime, disruptions to the global oil supply have caused large market fluctuations and uncertainty. The international benchmark Brent crude oil price had risen to $112.19 per barrel by Sunday morning as the strait remains blocked, and Iranian leaders have said that prices could climb as high as $200 per barrel if the war continues. Many Asian economies, including China, India, and Japan, rely heavily on energy imports that travel through the strait. Japanese Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi said Sunday that his nation could consider using its military to conduct a minesweeping operation.
You ever notice that when they jack up the price of gas and they blame it on this, that, and the other, and the oil barrel went from $80 to $150 a barrel, so we're gonna have to up your gas from like $2 to $2.80 or $3.20 or something like that. And people, they need gas. It's not like a bunch of people in a bulk of the population going, you know what? I can't afford to go to work today. It went from $2 to $3.20 a gallon now because of that fucking war or whatever. The price of oil, a barrel of oil, went so high that they had to jack up our gas, and we just can't afford to just go anywhere. We can't afford to go to the rock store. We can't afford to go to work. We can't afford. No. Trucks are still transporting, right? Goods. People are still going to and fro, right? Interstates still packed with dangerous drivers. The highways and byways with dangerous drivers. It ain't like people going, oh my God, I just can't afford gas. It's so high right now, we can't drive. No, they're not doing that. You would think that if this affects how much gas and oil or whatever reaches us, in other words, if the war is causing a shorter supply of oil to be converted into gas, that's the reason why they have to jack up the price, right? You would think that even though the demand is still there, it doesn't budge at all. The demand for the gas does not go down, regardless if you jack up the price because you say you have a shorter supply of gas. That's what they say, right? You would think you would see more gas stations running out of gas because the supply, people are still demanding the gas. Yeah, they hate paying more money, but they still need it, right? Just like you need to eat. So it's funny how the gas is always there during these situations like wars and such, that they jack up the price, right? Ports closing during COVID and oil refineries being blown up. But for some strange reason, the gas is generally still there. It's just at a higher price. So to me, that says to me, the supply has not waned. It's not like we have less gas in circulation. They're just using it as an excuse to jack up the price, whatever the reason is. Now it's the Iran war. It's the way I see it, because if you have less gas due to less oil, that's why they have to jack up the price per barrel of oil, because, well, there's a shortage now and the Hormuz is closed or throttled and oil tankers are being blown up. So, you know, we're in this turmoil now. So because there's a disruption in the oil supply, we're going to have to jack up the price of the oil, and we're going to have to jack up the price of gas. Meanwhile, people are paying now more money for gas, but the gas is still there. That's kind of weird. That's not how it works. If the demand is higher than the supply, then the price goes higher. And if demand still wants to buy all those goods at the higher price, well, that supply is going to run out sooner than later, and it's not going to be replenished sooner than later because they're having a problem with the supply chain due to whatever reason, right? That's why they jack up the price. Demand is high, supply is lower. We have to jack up the price to deter a bunch of these demanders from buying the goods, right? Because we have a limited supply now. But even though gas goes up higher due to whatever cockamamie reason they give us, the demand is still there, will always be there, but it's paying more, and the supply is still there. That's weird. It's late. I might be missing some, but I think that we're being bamboozled, constantly being bamboozled with this shit.
In the
Low
Strait of
supply,
Hormuz,
my
if
ass.
the United States and Israel reached a ceasefire with Iran. If there were to be a complete ceasefire, hypothetically speaking, then things like minesweeping could come up, Motegi said during a Fuji TV program. This is purely hypothetical, but if a ceasefire were established and naval mines were creating an obstacle, then I think that would be something to consider. Motegi said Japan has no immediate plans to negotiate arrangements that would allow stranded Japanese vessels to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. He said it's extremely important to guarantee the ability for all ships to pass through the narrow waterway safely. However, on Friday, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araki told Japan's Kyodo News Agency that he had talked to Motegi about potentially allowing Japanese-related vessels safe passage through the strait. Japan relies on the strait for roughly 90% of its oil shipments. Now that Tehran has effectively closed the waterway, rising global oil prices have forced Japan and other nations to release oil from their reserves. The United Arab Emirates on Saturday joined a growing list of nations that have pledged support for creating safe passage in the Strait of Hormuz. We express our readiness to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure...
All right, whatever. Listen. We stole Venezuela's oil, I thought, right? Right? I mean, we got carte blanche now. We can just take whatever we want, right? We have enough oil in this country, I went over this years ago, to supply the world for centuries. Why are we jacking up the prices of gas? Huh? I thought we're not dependent on Iran like we used to, or the Middle East for oil. I mean, so this headline over here, it says Iran threatens to close entire Hormuz Strait, strike utilities. Yeah, strike utilities of any country that's has U.S. bases on it, including our allies. But wait, there's more. Strike U.S. companies. Okay, that will cause severe supply chain disruptions, and also sooner than later, eventually they'll mission creep their grid down from the Middle East. Anybody that's helping America in the Middle East, their grid is going to get attacked. That's the plan. If Trump's ultimatum, if we attack their infrastructure, their grid, and their water system, then Iran will do the same to neighboring countries that are where we have our bases, where our allies might have bases. Then they'll start doing this to Europe, and then eventually it'll give the beast system, the New World Order, the damn friggin' deep state, whatever you want to call it, our government, the fucking allow either sleeper cells to attack the infrastructure like you've never seen it before and blame Iran, or do it themselves. But they'll probably let the sleeper cells do it, since they've known they've been here for decades and they've been allowed in all the more, millions of them under Beijing joke burden. And I've covered this ad nauseum, that information that I covered years ago, that when they get their call, because they all had their cell phones, attack police stations, attack governors' mansions. I covered that like 4 or 5 years ago, from the get-go Geico. And now it's here. It's being set up. If this ultimatum, if we attack their infrastructure, they're going to attack our infrastructure. And how many times have you seen Helly Weird talk about, show us a grid down scenario, an apocalyptic grid down, massive depopulation, predictive programming scenario in their movies? How many times? Ad nauseum. At any rate, be prepared, or maybe not. Whatever preparedness means to you, it means food, survival, brewskis, lead, Second Amendments, medical supplies, a way to light your house in the event that they do shut the switch off or put it on off on our grid. Because the Great Reset, and don't forget Clown Slob and the cyber polygon back in I think 23. We're gonna do the tabletop playing game for the cyber attack on everything. The electric will go down. You won't be able to buy anything. You won't be able to travel. No banks, no grok stores. Cyberpunk. Yeah. It sounds like they're getting ready to do something really shitty to us. Don't forget, they haven't Georgia Guidestoned us yet. They haven't gotten the population down to 500 million or less yet. But Agenda 2030 is definitely a real thing in full swing, and the Great Reset goes hand in hand with that. And they just got like 3 years and some change to get that accomplished. That's what I got for you. Don't be a troll out there. Fact the thumbs down clowns. I am Oot.
Sweet dreams.